He didn't cry the day he let go. That's what made it so hard to understand. For months, that small, worn plushie had been everything to him. Not just a toy, not just comfort. It was warmth when nights felt too long. It was safety when the world felt too loud. It was her, the only version of a mother he could hold on to. And then one quiet afternoon, Punch just released it. No tears, no panic, no reaching back. Just a slow, almost gentle letting go. But why? That moment, so small on the outside, was something much deeper on the inside. Because for Punch, letting go of his plushie mom wasn't about losing something. It was about finally finding something real. In the beginning, the plushie wasn't a choice. It was a necessity. When Punch was first found, he didn't understand the world around him. Everything was unfamiliar. The sounds, the faces, the space. It all felt too big for someone so small. And without a real mother's arms to return to, his instincts searched desperately for something, anything, that could replace that missing warmth. That's when the plushie appeared. Soft, still, quiet. It didn't move, it didn't speak, but it didn't leave either. And for Punch, that was enough. He clung to it the way a child clings to the only thing that makes sense in a confusing world. He wrapped his tiny arms around it, pressed his face into it, and held on like it was the only thing keeping him grounded. Because in his mind, it was. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and the plushie became part of him. Wherever Punch went, it went. When he rested, it was there. When he felt unsure, he pulled it closer. Even during quiet moments, when nothing seemed wrong, his fingers would still reach for it, just to make sure it hadn't disappeared. It wasn't just comfort anymore. It was identity. It was his version of love. But something began to change, very slowly, almost unnoticeably at first. Punch started watching more, not just looking, watching. He would sit quietly, his eyes following the others around him. The way they interacted, the way they groomed each other, the way they stayed close, not because they had to, but because they wanted to. It was different from what he knew. The plushie never moved, never responded, never reached back, but the others did. And for the first time, Punch began to feel something new. Curiosity. At first, he didn't act on it. He stayed at a distance, clutching the plushie just a little tighter, as if unsure whether he was allowed to want something else. As if letting himself feel that curiosity might somehow mean betraying the only comfort he had ever known. Because to him, that plushie wasn't just fabric. It was survival. Then came the small moments, a passing glance from another, a brief moment of closeness, a gentle presence that didn't demand anything, but didn't disappear either. Punch didn't run toward it. He just didn't run away, and that alone was a beginning. Over time, those moments grew. He started staying a little closer, watching from a shorter distance, letting the space between him and the others shrink, even if only by a few steps. But still, the plushie never left his side. Not yet, because even as something new was forming, the old comfort still held him. And letting go of something that once saved you is never easy. There were nights when Punch would sit quietly, the plushie in his arms, his eyes drifting toward the others nearby. You could almost see the conflict in his stillness. Part of him wanted to move closer, but another part wasn't ready to leave behind what had always been there. So he stayed in between, not fully alone, but not fully connected either. Then one day, something changed again. But this time it wasn't slow. It was quiet, subtle, and yet everything shifted. Punch was sitting as usual, the plushie resting in his lap. But instead of holding it tightly, his grip was loose, relaxed. His attention wasn't on the toy. It was somewhere else, someone else. Nearby, another presence lingered, not forcing interaction, not demanding closeness, just being there. And for the first time, Punch didn't need to pull the plushie closer to feel safe. He just sat, calm, still, present. Minutes passed, and then it happened. Without hesitation, without fear, Punch slowly moved his hands away. The plushie remained where it was, but he didn't reach back for it. That was the moment. Not dramatic, not loud, not filled with emotion the way you'd expect. Just a simple, quiet decision. He didn't need it anymore, but that doesn't mean it wasn't hard. Letting go of something that carried your loneliness, your fear, your memories, it leaves a space behind. And for a moment, that space can feel overwhelming. But this time, it didn't, because something else had already started to fill it. Something real. Punch didn't replace the plushie. He outgrew it, not because it stopped mattering, but because he finally found something that could give back. A look, a touch, presence that responded. Something alive. In the days that followed, he didn't return to the plushie. It stayed where it had been left, untouched, not rejected, just no longer needed. And Punch? He changed. Not all at once, but enough to notice. He moved differently, sat closer, watched less, and participated more. The distance that once defined him began to fade, and in its place, something softer appeared. Connection. What makes this moment so powerful isn't just that he let go. It's why he didn't lose comfort. He found something greater than it. Because sometimes we hold on to things not because we want to, but because we have to. Because at one point they were all we had. And letting go feels like losing a part of ourselves. But growth doesn't come from holding on forever. It comes from recognizing when we're ready for something more. For Punch, the plushie was never just a toy. It was a bridge, a way to survive until he could understand what real connection felt like. And once he did, he didn't need the bridge anymore. That's the part most people don't see. They see the moment he lets go, but they don't see everything that led up to it. The quiet observations, the small steps, the internal struggle between safety and change. Because letting go isn't a single moment. It's a journey, and Punch walked that journey in his own time, without pressure, without force, just slowly, naturally, until one day he realized he was ready to feel something real, ready to trust something that could respond, ready to stop holding on to what once protected him and start reaching for what could truly connect with him. That's why he didn't cry, because he wasn't losing something. He was finally gaining something. And maybe that's the most beautiful part of all. Not the letting go, but what came after. Because in that quiet moment, when his hands moved away, when the plushie stayed behind, when he chose not to reach back, Punch wasn't alone anymore. He just didn't need to pretend he wasn't.